So just did a spontaneous animation. And this is what we got. These are the frames we have. As you can see, we talked about our onion skin. You can use with the onion skin off. You can see the frames we did. And with that, we have this animation. Right, so let's move on to the examples I showed you with the balls. Onion skin off. This is what we have for the red ball. This is what we have for the blue ball. This is our ground plane, our reference. In this example, you see, I just positioned, and this was my time sheet. According to this time we have here, try changing our brush, the much simpler one. And let me just pick brushes. Yeah. So this is the ball we are animating, and we have just set my end time. So this is the duration it's to play to. We have these balls, I mean the blue balls. These are the various frames we have. Let me zoom out by scrolling back and forth. By increasing our screen area. If I just replace my onion skin with my layer, you can just switch them back and forth like that by clicking the menu. Let me play from here. As you can see, you have a simple ball. There's a lot you can do to improve this ball that is bouncing now. And for now, this is what we have, and we are going to work with it. So what I did here is that I marked out the places where I like the ball to be at any instant. So that was my time chart. So with every frame, you can see it's moving. It was at the first mark over there in this area, then move next on the next frame, then down, 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 and it comes back up. So we have a simple bouncing ball exercise. You can see that the spacing is different for the frames. The spacing is a bit different. They're trying to simulate an actual ball. But there are instances you can have equal spacing. Okay. There are instances you can have equal spacing with the ball. So let me show you how I did it. Let me start by creating another frame, and this time around I'm going to use a mouse. I'm not going to use the graphic tablet pen because I know maybe some of you may not be using a mouse, so you might not think it's possible to animate without. But you can animate without a graphic tablet with just a mouse. So I'm going to demonstrate. So we show the ground plane here. We pick. I'm going to try to replicate what I have done so far. So I just pick the circle tool. Then with the circle tool, I'll draw a single circle to represent the ball. And I'm going to do it on this side. We'll draw the ball. Make sure that you are holding down the shift key to have a nice equal spaced ball. And you can see with this ball that I just drew, it's taking the form of the brush. The outlines is being influenced by the brush we have here. Okay, so now from here, because it's a new layer, we have to add a layer to make it real. So since I don't want the ball to be changing size and shape, I'll do something here. I would put the select tool, select the ball, and then go to the edit area, copy the ball. I'm going to just change the position of the ball to animate. I'll turn on my onion skin so that I can see where the previous ball is and where I'm going to place my next ball. So I move on to the next frame here in the timeline and then click on add blank frame. So I add blank frame. You can see that our ball area has turned to red, meaning that's our previous ball. Came from our onion skin, that's our previous ball. So on this frame, I'll paste the ball that I copied. And one thing you should note about Krita is that you can't just paste anywhere at all. You'd have to paste on the active layer. There are other options of paste, but the option you should select is paste on active layer. Okay, so I paste on my active layer. But now what is happening is that the ball is superimposed on the previous ball at the same place. What I have to do is just move it to the position marked. And then one thing you also do is when you're moving, in order for it to be in a straight line, you have to click the select, the move it just horizontally, sorry, vertically. If I don't click the space button, it will move in a number of both horizontally and vertically. But in order to move in just one plane, I hold down the shift key and move. I use my mouse and then I use my shift key. So now the ball has moved. You can see the previous ball in the previous frame indicated by the red ball mark over here. Next, I move to the next frame. Then I create another frame. I add a frame from here. I go to edit, paste on active layer. That one has not been assigned any shortcuts yet. If I want to assign a shortcut, I will have to do it manually. I'll show you how to assign shortcuts later. For the purpose of this lecture, copy and paste an active layer. And as I pasted, it is still at the original place, like the first frame. What I do again, I move it down to the next marker indicator. Now we are using this guide, the blue marks here. From here, you know where we are going, paste into there, hold down shift. make it have a more rubber-like feel. So to do that, we select this ball and then we do what we call a squash and a stretch. So we squash it like that. And because it is decreasing in volume, you have to stretch it to make up for the squash. Make sure that the volume of the ball is being maintained. You can exaggerate it if that's the desire you want to achieve, but just eyeballing to make sure that the volume of the ball remains the same. And then let's play and see the kind of effect it has in the whole animation. See that? All right. So for the purpose of our animation, because it's arched here, I like it to stretch on this frame. We're just trying to apply the techniques of animation with this board. So I'll stretch it like so. Once I've stretched it, I'll have to make so I just have the same volume. I would love to see more stretch and squash. That's one thing with animation. If it feels right, and it is right. So let's play and see what we have now. I didn't get that feeling of now the ball looks more like a soft ball just because we added squash and stretch to the animation. And let's compare it to the ones we did previously. So let's pick this ball, the blue ball, and play. So let's see frame by frame what we have now. Now them they all without the moon skinny. That's not it. Frame by frame. I think for this example, the red ball will do because they have almost the same timing. Let's see. We have a rigid ball and then a bouncy ball for examples. Let's play. See, on this frame, because there was a splash, the next frame, there was a stretch. Now although they have the same kind of timing, they will feel differently. Get the feeling? All right, so with this exercise, we are practically now an animator, being able to animate a bouncing ball. Let's do another one, but this time around with like equal spacing. All right, so we've been able to animate in Creator for the first time. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and we'll continue in our next session. Stay tuned.